Personally, I think it's helped me get acclimated to my community and some of the concerns that I might not have thought of previous to now, like understanding like real concerns, real issues, real areas where people need support. When you're in your own little world, you're not really thinking about what other people need and what other people can use in terms of help or guidance or training or knowledge. You just kind of get caught up in your own silo just at work. So CMT has helped me realize that the world doesn't revolve around me and my family, and that I have to be always thinking about my neighbors and people that I share my space with.
What I would like people to know is our comfort care for one another when we're doing our training sessions. I think they're an awesome group. I think they come in wholehearted, ready to do the work, ready to do the training, and sap it all in. And what people need to know is that they have the comfort for the care. We live amongst our community, we know our community, and we love our community. So which means we're gonna fight for the community, we're gonna stand for the community, and advocate as best as we possibly can.
Our CMT strategy includes 3 buckets: preparation, response, and prevention. When it comes to crisis preparation, it's important to identify the accessible resources to the community, or what education opportunities are available, or even what trainings are available to help our CMT members better respond or be better equipped to respond. When it comes to the response piece, response is critical. We want to support communities after a violent incident by holding debriefs, by having conversations with folks, offering possibly peer support, or bringing counselors in to have conversations with those that are directly affected. When it comes to prevention, collaboration with local safety networks is extremely important. It helps those with capable resources be readily available to respond to community during times of support. It also helps minimize the gaps in supports that are available and for those who need it. Also, community collaboration with these organizations helps strengthen the resiliency of the community as a whole.
CMT started during a time when there was a lot of gun violence happening in the community, a lot of homicides. And during that time, I was manager of the Youth Advocate Program, Soul Strong program. What we were really doing was having a conversation with staff across HRM, and the mayor convened a roundtable to talk about the assets that HRM has and how we're better able to use those to support community and help fighting to curb gun violence.
When I looked at my role as a public safety advisor and building a public safety strategy, it was important in my mind that a particular group be built because it would contribute to the public safety strategy that was going to be, hopefully, and was adopted by mayor and council. Why the CMT was because it was meant to make communities safer.
So we thought, why not try to flip that to focusing on communities, to have community members who would actually respond to issues, to traumatic events, and be there to support community.
So in order to truly support our communities, especially after a critical incident, we often host debriefing sessions, also known as a night of healing for community members. So this is an opportunity for individuals to come out and kind of process any trauma that they have experienced. So we often do this if there has been, a violent death or a violent incident that occurs. We often mobilize within 72 hours of the incident and open up a safe and brave space for community members to come and just, talk about whatever they've experienced, whether you were at a witness at a scene or you just heard about the scene. We often encourage, people to just come out. And at these sessions, we have a facilitator, often myself, that would facilitate the sessions. Then we also have, active listeners and certified mental health therapists that are available there if an individual needs one-on-one support. We would also often have, spiritual leaders like a pastor as well for those that may need that spiritual support.
A couple of the activations that we do would be the vigils that we do in the community. That would be upon the request of the community members. And in addition to that, we also will do debriefs after a critical incident. And with those debriefs, it's basically to bring everybody together to kind of connect after the incident and reconnect with the community.
During these activations, we also provide community members with a list of resources and assets that are available available in their community that they can tap to. So whether this is, free mental health counseling support or any kind of other things that they may need, maybe emergency contacts and so forth, in order for them to be fully supported.
The trainings have opened my mind to look at things differently.
So I've done mental health first aid, assist for suicide prevention, how to deal with trauma. So they've given me a lot of skills, and just knowing them, I'm able to help and lend a hand more now when I have these skills from all these trainings. So it's helped me grow as a person.
Helped me or allowed me, I guess, to utilize skill sets that are dormant in me, and then be okay to be a part of something bigger for the community, because now there's a collective of us. It's not just someone stepping out and they like, oh, look and see what she's doing, blah, 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 blah. It's a group of us.
We were a village. We were always a village. Now we're at a point where we're individuals. We can't speak to each other's children. We can't correct them. We can't speak to each other. The community mobilization team is the first step into building that village back.
It has helped me understand that there is more with me than there is against us.
We are from their communities. We are connected. We want to help the people involved in our communities to let them know that we are here.
I think our community members should know that we're passionate and that we actually care, that we're a group of people that want to do what's best for each other, and by holding each other up and supporting each other, not only in just times of crisis, but in times of having conversations about accountability and planning for the village that we want. I think people should be aware that we actually function as a small community trying to make things better for the place that we live in.
I'm seeing more trust built, and there is commitment on both sides coming. Because when I see the growth, that tells me the community sees the growth. The partnership sees the growth and the need. A word I like to use in there is committed support. Because I can say I support you, but what does that mean? Committed support is I'm actually financially invested with you, education, we're putting all of those things on. We're helping each other grow. That to me was committed support. So when I talk about safety, I don't just talk about criminal activity. I'm talking about fires and hurricanes and rains. Those put our communities in crisis. So when we see the increase of those, we need to see the CMTs continuing to work as they are hopefully designed to work.
I belong to a community garden in the George Dixon field. It's called the George Dixon Community Garden Association, and I became a member of CMT through the community garden that CMT had put in and helped create 3 years ago. And so I'm a part of that, and I became a part of CMT through the community garden, and my best friend is also a member of the CMT. It's a very supportive team that we have, and we meet monthly to discuss either concerns that are happening around the community. So it's a good way to know what's happening in your community and what's concerning people in our community, because some of them can be very, can be from tragedy to something really great, like a new playground, a community garden, workout center.
During the hurricane, when there was power outages, what the CMT teams did in Margaret Park was amazing to see them mobilize to support community members who lost food and who needed that support. Here at home, seeing the CMT team take old horseshoe pit and turn that to community garden and take ownership of that space, I think was also important too. So really, again, it's very important for CMTs to continue and for community members to take ownership of the program.
I grew up in Mulgrave Park, so I help with that CMT too when there's a need, and just giving out boxes of groceries and stuff like that. I was just proud to say, you know, this is from the CMT.
We also do comfort centers. We would open the comfort center to the community to give them access to have power. There'd be like refreshments, things for kids to do, and just a place for families to come and stay warm.
I want people to know that the people that are doing this work, behind this work, are beautiful people, dignified communities, come from amazing places that often are stigmatized. And CMT are working to combat some of the most challenging issues in the community while they're also fighting challenges themselves. It's challenging to fight these issues while you're also fighting the issues.
I come from, circumstances where the community wasn't the best. Coming here is helping me to fulfill those needs within myself, to see the betterment within myself for my daughter and for the other kids that are growing up. So that's what it means to me.
It's important to really give the people that are behind the CMT the utmost respect and admiration, because it takes a strong person to come out while you're also dealing with things yourself in your community. So I want people to know that the people that are behind the CMT work are some of the most amazing people that we have in HRM. It should be some of the most respected people that we have in HRM.
People need to know that the CMT is not a flash in the pan, that it's just not here today and it's gone tomorrow, that it's actually growing. You know the saying where it says, it takes a village to raise a child? To me, it takes a community and partners to build or raise a safe community. It takes more than the one to build. So for me, I would like people to understand the importance of working together as partners and the community, understanding and respecting each other to build the trust that is required to take us through what I believe, and what you'll read many and hear from many, we're going to continue to face crises in our communities. So if we can do that as a community and make sure our CMTs are properly resourced, committed, then I think that we will be absolutely in a better place for now, as well as being able to prevent some of the stuff that may happen, and there's going to be stuff that will happen, and we'll be in a better position to deal with the things that happen that will definitely happen. So there's definitely the need for us, and people got to believe that there is a trust built.
We are community members that are looking to create positive change, are here to help, whether it is, an emergency or it could be just a community event. We're here to lend a hand, to assist, and just like I said, to make the community a lot stronger.
Stay in community, be in your community, back your community, love your community, show forth, what biblically that I've been brought up on is like, love one another. And how do we do that? We do that by how we speak to each other, how we treat each other, how we, again, show up.
Not only in just times of crisis, but in times of having conversations about accountability and planning for the village that we want. I think people should be aware that we actually function as a small community trying to make things better for the place that we live in.